Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. I'm Shirley and I'm the owner of Two Birds London, and February is a very special month for us because it is the beginning of our new search for sponsored skaters for the coming year. So sadly we get to say goodbye to our old skaters, but then we get to say hello to a whole bunch of new skaters, and that's very exciting. I'm sure you're all eager to know more about the application process, so I'm not going to keep you waiting. We'll jump straight in. First of all, the webpage that you need to go to in order to apply is www.twobirds.london.co.uk/sponsorship. I'll tell you that again at the end of the video, so don't panic about remembering it. It's also all over our social media and on the homepage of our website as well, with the big image at the top and a button to say apply now, so you probably can't miss it, but I will tell you the URL at the end of the video as well. The application is pretty easy. This year we're only asking you for one video, and in this video we would like it to be an introduction to you as a skater. So what's your name, what rink do you skate at, what do you think people would be interested in seeing from you and your journey over the next year, plus some clips of you skating. So think of it a bit like a mini vlog. So if you are one of our sponsored skaters, you'll have seen from previous years that each skater does a monthly video blog, and it just updates everybody on what's happened in the last month or so and how their journey's going, how their training's going, how their competitions have gone, and anything else that they've been up to. So think about your entry video a bit like a mini blog, and don't make it too long because I've got to watch a lot. So keep it to about 3 minutes, absolute maximum. It's fine if it's shorter than that. But just don't send me 10-minute videos because the system won't be able to cope with them. There's also a contact form that you will need to fill in. It just gathers some basic information about you, so your name, address, date of birth, your parents' contact details if you're under 18, that sort of thing. And I will need one headshot of you as well, so head and shoulders, just a photo of you as a skater so that we can put that against your application process. So all skaters are welcome to apply regardless of their age, their gender, their ability, but we would particularly invite applications from boys, from adult skaters, and from couples, as well as all the girls that apply every year. That's not to say you get special treatment, you won't. I treat everybody equally, but those groups of skaters are underrepresented in the applications that we've had in previous years. I get a lot of girls applying, and I would love to be able to have a more diverse shortlist this year, and hopefully a more diverse set of sponsored skaters this year. So if you know a boy, or you're a boy skater, or you're an adult skater, or you're part of a pairs or dance couple, then please consider applying, because we'd really love to hear from you. For the first time, we are also opening applications up to synchro teams. Now, I need to be very clear about this. We are not opening applications up to synchro clubs, so it is per team, the application. So if you're a preliminary team, or you're a mixed age team, you can apply as a team, but not if you've got four teams in your club, then you need to do a separate application process for each team. Unfortunately, this year we're not opening applications up to skating clubs. It is something that I've been asked about in the past, and we are looking at it. I do want to try and offer something for everybody, but this year we're going to go for synchro teams. So that's very exciting for us as well as for you guys, and I hope to see lots of applications from synchro teams. Obviously, the sponsorship package that teams will get will be slightly different to what individual skaters get. I'll discuss that with each successful applicant when the time comes, but just to make you aware, each member of a team is not going to get a complete outfit. It will be a smaller item per skater because there are more skaters in a team. So just want to be clear about that up front. I do get asked every year, but unfortunately we are not able to sponsor hockey. We're not able to sponsor speed skaters. This sponsorship is for figure skaters only. So all disciplines of figure skating, but only figure skating. So what are we looking for? I am looking for fun, interesting and creative videos that show us your personality. Every year I get quite a lot of applicants who have shot a video where they're stood up against a wall and they look terrified and they go, "Hello, my name is Sarah and I am 10 years old and I skate for this rink and here's my skating, bye." And it's not a very interesting video to watch. So I would strongly encourage you to think about how you can make your video creative. So in the past, some skaters have done a day in the life of them as a skater, or they've done emojis, or got really creative with how that video looks, or the way that it's edited together, or the types of stuff that they put in there. So they might put in bloopers, they might put in fun stuff, but we want to see your personality, because that is what you're going to be sharing over the next year. So it just don't want to see terrified children and just quite flat videos that just aren't very interesting. I hate to say that, but that is the truth of it, and we get so many applications that the ones that have tried to be creative really stand out compared to ones that just do a very kind of flat video where they're just talk quite quickly and in a monotone to the camera. So I'm trying to be really transparent with you guys to give you the best opportunity of being successful, and that is probably my number one tip. We're also looking for skaters who have a story to tell or a journey to share, and that could be just about anything. So you could be at the beginning of your skating journey, just about to start competing. Maybe you have a disability. For example, Megan, this current year's sponsor, who's just finishing, has got scoliosis of the spine, and it's been really interesting to hear how she still manages to tackle her skating, even though she's got some quite severe obstacles that she has to overcome. So that's another example of a story. So something with a journey that people can follow for the year. It makes it interesting. And we're also looking for skaters who fit in with our core brand values. So things like inspirational, resilience, determination, confidence. And we also want happy skaters. So if you're super shy or really introverted and you don't like having a camera following you around, then this probably isn't the thing for you, because a big part of the sponsorship program is about sharing your journey and showing us what you've been up to and talking to the camera. Any tips for your videos? So I always get asked, I'm trying to rattle through some of the questions that I'm going to get asked. Be creative. I've touched on this already, so I'm not going to labour the point, but be creative with your videos. Make sure that your voice can be clearly heard on the video. So try and make sure there's not too much background noise. If you've got a little microphone that you can plug into your phone or camera, that really helps. And try not to speak too fast. Especially Scottish skaters, because your accent is a little bit more different, and so Scottish people understand you, but then from other nationalities, it's harder to understand. Same with other accents. So if you've got a really strong Liverpudlian accent or a Geordie accent or something, just make sure that you're just talking a little bit slower. And that when you play your video back, that it's really clear for us to understand, because we want to be able to share your videos and we want everyone to understand what you're saying as well. And my last tip is try and either put your phone or camera on a stand or on a table, or get someone else to hold it for you. If you're holding it yourself, then when you're nervous especially, but even so, the camera tends to shake like this, and it makes your video really shaky as well. So if you can put it on a ledge or a table or some sort of stand, or get someone else to hold it for you, that will make a big difference. So I just want to talk a little bit about how we decide who to shortlist, because it is a really difficult process for us to go through. I know it's scary for you guys to apply, and it's hard to put those videos together, but it's also really difficult for us to kind of try and narrow down a large number of skaters to just kind of 16 on a shortlist. So as well as your entry videos and the information that you provide us, we also weigh up a lot of other things behind the scenes. So things like what age you are compared to other skaters, what category you are compared to other skaters, what rink you're from. I try not to have two skaters or too many skaters from the same rink in the shortlist, just because I want to try and represent as many different rinks as possible, and kind of spread out the sponsorship around the country. So I try not to, and also it can be a bit difficult if there are two skaters from the same rink and one ends up being sponsored and one doesn't. That's difficult for both parties involved. So if you don't get sponsored, it may not be anything to do with you per se, but just the combination of other factors, and try and balance all of those things together. And also just how well we think that you would fit in with an overall sponsorship group. And that is quite difficult for us to judge, and it's based on the information that you provide us. But all of those things together sort of form part of how we make that decision-making process. You can't change those things. They are just a factor of how we make the decisions. But I just want you to be aware that I try and have skaters from a wide variety of backgrounds, of ages, of categories that you're skating in, and from rinks that you're representing. So if you don't get shortlisted, it's probably because just of a combination of those factors rather than anything you did or didn't do. What happens next? So applications are open for the whole of February, so you've got plenty of time to get your videos in. And you have got half term as well in the middle of that. So if you're struggling for time because of school and training, then you hopefully have got a bit of time during half term as well. And at the end of February, I will watch all the entries, and we will shortlist approximately 8 under 12s, 8 over 12s, and then I'm hoping to shortlist about 8 synchro teams as well. Obviously that depends on how many entries we get, and I'll have to review that nearer the time, but hopefully lots of teams will apply. The shortlisted skaters will be announced on the evening of Friday the 6th of March, and the voting, those shortlisted skaters will then be put up on our website, and there will then be a voting process that goes through for the next week that allows everyone to vote on which skater and or team they would like to see the journey of over the coming year. I would like to be absolutely crystal clear that this is not a popularity contest. The voting process only gives us an indication of whose journey people would like to see, but it is only one factor that we take into consideration when we're making our final decisions. So I'm not looking for who can get the most votes. I'm just looking to get an indication and a flavour of who is interesting to follow. So I hope that makes sense. My final words I just want to say are, please only apply for sponsorship if you understand that there is a good chance that you won't get shortlisted or chosen. I think last year's group of applications had about a 3% chance of being one of our final sponsored skaters. So unfortunately, the reality is that means that most people won't get chosen, and that's not because they did anything wrong or because their application wasn't good enough. It's simply because we're a small company and I have a very finite amount of money available to sponsor skaters, and it is something that I feel passionately about. It costs us a lot of money as a business to do this, but I do feel really passionately about sponsoring skaters and trying to give everybody an opportunity, and that is one reason why I have a sponsorship application round every year rather than sponsoring one skater through the lifetime of their skating journey, is to try and give everybody as much opportunity as possible. So just want you to be aware that obviously some skaters do get very upset if they're not shortlisted or ultimately chosen. And I just want you to, as a parent, if you've got a child under 18 who's thinking about applying, is please know your child, know whether they are able to cope with this process. I don't want to see really upset children. It breaks my heart. You know, if I could sponsor everybody, I would, but unfortunately the way that this process works is that most people won't be sponsored. So please just bear that in mind. Have a chat to your kids about how they will cope with that as a process. Make sure that they understand that the chance is quite small. That will help me a lot, because when I get to the point where I'm shortlisting and then making final decisions, the worst part about this whole process is having to tell people that they haven't been successful. I really hate it, but it is part of it. There are lots and lots of bits of information, everything that I've said here, and some frequently asked questions that are all going to be on the sponsorship page. So if you've got questions, please do go and have a look at that page. If there's a question that you've got that isn't answered there, then please could you drop us an email at sponsorship@twobirdslondon.co.uk. It would really help if you could do it by email rather than Facebook messaging, so that we can get all of those messages together and make sure that we're getting the same information out to everybody. So yes, drop us an email, sponsorship@twobirdslondon.co.uk. The URL that you will need to apply is twobirdslondon.co.uk/sponsorship. It will also be linked below this video if you're on Facebook, in our link in our bio if you're on Instagram, and it's also on our homepage of our website as well. So hopefully you can't miss it, but shout if you can't find it or get stuck for any reason. And it just leaves me to say good luck. I can't wait to see the application videos that are going to come through this year. Yeah, good luck.